Hello, good evening, and welcome. Now it seems like a hell of a long time since I've been on my own and done anything. Hiya, Tara. Hope you're well. It has been an extremely long time since I've been on my own. Well, I've not been idle. I've been dealing with quite a lot of stuff emotionally. So my thought was just to come on and maybe let people know whereabouts I am with things, how my mindset's been. And I'll explain from the start. If I'm looking a bit sweaty, I will just explain why. Part of the feedback I've just been getting from some lovely people just recently is that I don't do enough meditation and sitting in the quiet time. So my head runs at a very strange pace at the best of times. I've got loads of stuff. Hi, Debbie. Hope you're well. Get loads of stuff going through my head at any one time, and I find it exhausting. So I'm working now on trying to slow my headspace down. So I'm not very keen, and I feel a little bit ooped out at times where the idea of going into meditation, sitting cross-legged and going on and all of that sort of thing in a darker room is just not for me. So like with everything, I've had to adapt it. And my missus said to me last night, she said, well, you get a lot of your stuff when you go out walking with the dogs. I also get a lot of peace in my mind when I'm working outside in the garden. So I thought, right, I've had this idea that I want an arbor. And for those of you that aren't sure what an arbor is, it's basically an enclosed bench. So today, sourced one off the internet, off Marketplace, went out and got one in my little car, all in bits, got it all sort of compacted down so we could get it in the back of my car, roped as much rope round my car as I could do to get this thing back to Lincoln. So about a 20 mile each way journey to get this back. Anyway, gets it home. Right, do not get involved in putting this thing up tonight because you've got a live and you're committed to it. Yeah, I know, but I could just do a little bit. Anyway, about an hour was wasted when I got 2 bits of wood in the wrong place. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through now getting this arbor put together. So I've run up here literally with 2 minutes to spare, switched the lights on. So if the lighting's wrong or anything amiss, that's why, because I bombed up here. I had time to put the waistcoat on. I just grabbed the nearest brightest shirt that I could, and I come on here and I thought, well, at the end of the day, this is not a professional broadcast, it's me. And if people don't like it, then tough. Because I'm doing it for note anyway. So what I want to say to people as well, it's a massive thank you. It's a massive thank you to everybody that's coming on here. Whether you're regular or whether you're new to it, I am always grounded. And I've been going through a particularly rough time over the last few months because, as I mentioned before, I'm absolutely convinced that I've got ADHD, and maybe I've had it all my life, who knows? But it's changed the process and the way that I think, and it's taken some managing and getting adjusted to. So I've gone about my spiritual business and doing what I need to do, and just doing my best to keep going. The nerves and the anxiety and things like that. But then there's the showbiz side of it where it comes in, and you get to do readings for lovely people and things like that. So it's just finding that balance. So say the same thing in regards to anything that I do on here. If you're on YouTube, I think you're fairly safe. But if you're on Facebook and you're joining me in, I do not send friends requests from my business page. I will never contact you offering you free readings. So if you get any idiots, spammers or jammers, as I call them, please block them, because I don't always see them till the end. And it just affects the quality of the broadcast as far as I'm concerned. So I spend too much time looking at them and not enough time doing what I'm doing. So please feel free to block and ban and report. And as per usual, Facebook will do bugger all. But I feel like that's my thing to say there. So I'll start going through these comments. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Fitness Hutch, brilliant, mate. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Anita, hi. AD, thanks very much. I appreciate that. Natalie, we'll start with you. So I'm going to keep them brief tonight with these and try and get through. Hi, Karen. To get through as many as I can, because I'm going to have an hour on here. And as I was saying there, I've not really had much prep time. I like to come in here. So I've got to show you this, guys, my brand new singing bowl. Oh, talk about deliberations with it, about buying it. But it was all for the throat chakra. So I'm really, really chuffed about finally buying something for myself. And this was what the thing was with this arbor was, that I'll always put other people first, and I'm very reluctant, but I wanted this for me. So again, I don't know whether I've started this real odd trend. So I don't know, but long may it continue, because I'm becoming a bit decisive. So Natalie, right. So I've got my lovely cards here, and I've got my normal tarot ones, but tonight, because they're the easiest ones to grab, I've got Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. Right? I don't know whether you can see that, because I say I don't know whether my lighting's proper quality tonight. And basically, these go along the shamanic route. So when I've got these cards, I think they read themselves, really. I just pass on the message from them. I've got my tarot, and I pulled a couple of tarot cards for you. So when I'm sat here with this, I've got Defend What Is Dear to You. And now the thing is about me, and anybody that knows me for longer than 5 minutes knows how gobby I am, knows how forthright I am. But I'm also willing to be flexible when it comes to, like, if I've got something wrong or I've said something out of place, then I'm the first one to sort of step in and say, right, you know, I've overstepped the mark there. However, there are exceptions to every rule. If it involves my family and it involves my nearest and dearest that are around me, and anybody starts encroaching on my territory for whatever reason, you're dealing with a totally different animal. So my sense with this card is, the word that's coming through to my mind for you, Natalie, is about establishing boundaries. Maybe just one or two people are around you. I'm going to just, because I can swear on here, basically just taking the piss a little bit, and just need, like, you know, just putting in place and saying, let's just back that down a little bit. You know, don't get out of your pram about it, but let's have some respect here. So defending what's dear to you. For me, just make sure that you look after your nearest and dearest. Tarot cards, all right, brilliant. So we've got the Magician, and the reason the green fades out is because of the green behind it, but this is predominantly green. So heart chakra, emotions, and I look at all of the things that are around. So we've got the cups, we've got the swords, we've got the wands, and we've got the pentacles, which is basically saying we've got a drawing board moment where we're looking now about starting something new, something different. I would sense it's more practical, because I've got the wands in there. The wands is about fire and fuel. So making these changes and starting to work through something. Again, I think I bring this out for you quite a lot about jobs and businesses and maybe self-promotion there a little bit. But the Magician, with it being the number one, is that first step. Everything being in that right sort of space. I'm not a big believer in magic per se, you know, that people don't just sort of drop out the sky and give you everything that you're looking for. However, it's a good starting point there to say everything's within reach to make those changes. Second card there, oh, well, that just absolutely clarifies it. Anybody who's new to tarot, the death card does never, ever mean literal death. What it talks about is the ending of a phase. I actually look forward to the death card coming in if I have a reading anywhere, because what it means is anything that I've been whittling or worrying about, or is it going to happen, you know, ifing and anding about things. Well, when the death card comes in, it says that things need to come to a stop, come to a natural end, purely because we need it out of the way so that we can bring in those new starts that we've spoken about. Death also talks about the power and potential of transformation. So again, where we're bringing in that the end of something, we're bringing in that bright new beginning straight afterwards. So gentleman's energy just before I leave you there, Natalie, that just comes in, gives a little bit of a cough. So I don't know whether he was quite chesty, had any sort of chest condition before he passed, but he's talking about for you to clear your throat on something as well. So maybe there's just something there about communication that you need to clear up and around you. Right, thank you very much. Right, let's have a look. Do you have anything for me to do? I have a little singing bowl, which is great when shuffling my tarot. Well, Karen, do you know, we've got 3 bowls now. One, well, in fact, 2 of them I don't own. They're Mrs. P's, but what she says is that everything that's hers is mine and not vice versa. So I have to trust on that one. But this one I specifically bought, and I went back 4 or 5 times. The lady, bless her, must have been tearing her hair out, because I could put all of these things out at Stonehenge for me to have a go on, and I walked away and walked away and walked away. Anyway, the final time I went, right, I'm back with money, I'm having one. And the first one that sort of resonated with me, I thought, that's the one that I'm having. Right, so 2 cards for you. Now, this is where I do get the opportunity to gob off a little bit. Right, so the 7 of Swords. So all of you traditionalists with your tarot cards, look away now, because I'm about to dispel something there, or dispense something there that not everybody will find popular. So I've got my 7 of Swords card there. And for you that know me out there, that for me is my dickhead magnet. That is like this big woo-woo sign, a big alarm bell that's going off above my head, that I need to be wary of somebody that's around me, because that card for me represents theft, it represents dishonesty, and it represents people that don't give a monkey's about your time and your energy. Because if we look at that, we've got 5 swords that is running off. So there's an element of deceit and taking some time and energy off you. And it can be male, female, it can be around your personal relationships, or it could even be a work scenario. I call this card a bit of a blister as well, because these type of people tend to turn up when all of the hard work's done. I am not a big fan of confrontation, never have been, never will be. However, there are times when I have to step forward and say, do you know what, enough's enough. I'm not having an argument with you, but that sort of shit does not fly around me. Blue is all about communication and the throat chakra. So what I would suggest when that card comes in is like marking people's cards, right? You can do all of that stuff, but I'm not going to be taken in by it. Then they've got a lovely card to counterbalance that, where we've got the Temperance card. And the Temperance card for me is all about balance and moderation. It's also healing. It's also about bringing people in back together. So she's the great alchemist, that she brings people in that wouldn't ordinarily work together. So maybe there's a change on your horizon with the way that you're working at the moment, bringing in new guides, new friends, new people. Because what I sense about you, even though I'm not quite sure who you are, is that your vibration is raising up a level. So when we raise up a level, some people go with us and some people stay behind. I've just got to the stage now where if you're not for me, you're not for me. And I just wish you well. I had 12 years of dealing with the lesser lights of this world and arguing and fighting with people. And I didn't like it and I didn't enjoy it. So now I'm out of that scenario. I don't do it. So my attention span is about the length of a kettle boiling. When it comes to arguing with anybody, put your case forward by all means. But if you're not going to respect my area or respect me, then jog on. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Ooh, there's a blast from the past. How are you, Litio? I hope you're well. Lovely to see you. I was only thinking about you the other day. I hope married life's treating you really, really well and things like that, because it's been a while since we've had a catch up. So I hope things are all good with you. And you, well, I was going to say little, and she ain't little now, is she? But when I first met you, yes, she was a little, but you had proper little grown up there on your hands as well. So I've got a gentleman's energy that's coming in around you, and I believe it's Grandad. So I don't know what's going on with you and your daughter, whether there's just a little bit of butting heads, shall we say, just something going on around there that she needs. Just a reminder of her boundaries. She's just maybe testing the limits a little bit, because I don't know. I feel that Grandad's bringing in that she's a real firecracker as well. So you're going to have to watch that one, because she's going to be a heartbreaker when she gets a bit older, and there'll be more for you to sort of mother and take on board. I'm absolutely sure. 2 cards for you, my friend. Queen of Pentacles. So I don't know what's going on around your work and your financial situation, but I love the Queen of Pentacles energy when she comes in, because she's very grounded. She's very down to earth, but she also knows how to master her money. She knows how to look after her money. She knows how to stockpile. She likes the finer things in life. Sorry, I'm a little bit like behind myself there, trying to catch up because of coming in here at speed. The Queen of Pentacles. So I always look at queens as authority figures. So the message is always quite simple when I boil it back, about getting in charge of pentacles, money, finances, riches, enrichments, and what I know as non-material wealth. So it may well be that it's time for college courses, some new learning, maybe a little bit of work into investigating what you would like to bring into the future, but it's at an earthbound level. So whatever you're looking at over these next 6 months, don't worry too much, flow with it. Now I'm a fine one to talk with that, but look at the last few months of this year. So we're well over halfway through now. Look at what you're building. You know, it's putting in those foundation blocks. And the Hanging Man for me, I always know it is me. right? Because it's nothing's really wrong, but it's feeling like I'm in suspended animation. I'm not really going anywhere. I haven't got any sort of life to myself. So when I see that, I feel like I'm hanging around a little bit, and it's kind of like, you know, I'm waiting to go with something, but it's not quite coming into place. So what I look at with that card is I like simplicity. So if I'm hanging around and I'm upside down and all over the place, well, if I turn it that way, that's its normal position. If I turn it that way, I'm grounded, you know, and then I can realize, right, I've got all this crap hanging around my feet, so I need to shift it out of the way so that I can move forward. So as I say, that backs up for me about these next 6 months being about prepping. As you go into the new year, I think you've got some fantastic opportunities heading your way. So hold tight. That's what I'm saying at the moment. Don't make any rash decisions. Just use your queen's head, take charge of your situation, and the money will be there when it is needed. So I hope that makes some sense for you. Lovely to see you again. Any messages for me? Right, let me get through. So keep putting on there if I've missed you, because the thing is with it, I flip through and then I'll look and my brain will not keep up with it. So I will get through as many as I can, but I always make bloody misses with people, because at the end I'll get a message that say, "Oh, do you only read for people that you know?" I tell you what I do is I scroll down, and until Facebook like change them or move them out on this StreamYard that I'm using, I just go in order as much as I can. But sometimes it jumps and I don't actually see the comments till the end. So just bear with me on that. I feel like I'm apologising too much tonight, and I'm not got nothing to apologise for, but this is how my head is at the moment. So I do apologise again. Look at that. That needs to stop. Right. So where are we going? Dickhead magnet. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Where was I? I've lost my comment there. Who was I shouting that then? Oh, dear me. Hi, Paul. Oh, I hope you're talking to me. Yeah. Evening, Steve. Now, if anybody gets the opportunity and you're in this country, go see this man. He is absolutely amazing and a big supporter of mine, and vice versa. Amazing, amazing man. Let me just see if I can find my comment, because I've lost it. I think it was that one. Yes, I think it was that one. Louise, thank you very much for coming on. I say I've totally lost track of time as usual, but it is what it is, isn't it? Right. Oh, now this is good, Lara, for you. So I've got a lady's energy coming in for you from the spirit world. And the key word that's rattling around in my head with you is organization. Getting things into a place where you can put your hands to them, because I feel that you've got several changes at the moment that you're contemplating on making, but it's kind of like we're reaching, but we haven't made any solid decisions. Right. We need some time out as well to ourselves. And if my lovely friend was on here, Annabelle from Fortune Cookies, who I will always plug because I absolutely love working with her. And while I'm on here, I'll plug that we're on the Psychic News Network tomorrow night. Oh, I believe it'll be 6:15 our time, 5:15. Keep an eye out on my stuff, and we'll be doing the local news and all these things, a bit of astrology and some readings and all of that sort of stuff. We're back on again. We're live and we're at it again with Rob Akinpora and the lovely Annabelle. And if Deborah's on there, and we may or may not have some new guests, who knows? I just sit there, turn up, get a bottle of water, and sit there in the background grinning like inanely, like some sort of loon. But I enjoy doing it. It really does give me a buzz. So anyway, before I get too distracted, Lara, 3 of Cups, and what Annabelle talks about with that is her gal pal tribe. That is the people that are around her when she's in that time of need. So whether there's been an issue with a relationship, whether it's personal or I'm being corrected here. So I tend to go with that card, that when you start out with the Ace of Cups, it's a new relationship. Two of Cups is then we're starting to sort of marry up with the same hymn sheet. The 3 there, it's celebratory, and this is what I was feeling. But I was just wondering if there's been some sort of knock to your confidence or some way or another where we need to sit around with people that sing off the same hymn sheet as us. We need to sort of have a bit of love and light and a bit of upliftment with the friends that are around us. it's celebratory in nature. That we're all round the cups there. We're having a good old dance and a good old piss up. I can't think of a better way of putting it. But just being out there, and I've got the Friends theme tune running through my head there at the moment, going, I'll be there for you. So maybe it's just something there that you need to get in touch with somebody, or iron something out, or give some support, but get around people that need your brand of whoever it is that you are, right? And where it goes on from there, we've got the 10 of cups. Now this is, I'm not one of these that's like about perfection and things like this, but this is 10. It's the completion of a phase or a stage in life. And when I see this card, it's kind of like all your little ducks are in a row. Your house is where it needs to be, your relationships where it needs to be, all of the things that you treasure in life are all in alignment. You know, it's all sunshine and rainbow. But the thing is, this is where the little bit of me that comes in and goes, yeah, but it takes work getting there. So sometimes we just need that little bit of a shove, that little bit of a nudge, and that hope in our heart, as well as the action, that we will be in a place in the next few months where there is a lot more happiness coming. What I'm being told to tell you as well is there's a couple of things around you at the moment where you need to trust your instinct and not react from the heart space. So think logically, right? Allow things to play out as they need to play out. And then just look what your instinct is telling you, but don't be overridden by your heart. Think sensibly, okay? And that's where I'm going to leave that with you. Hi, wifey. Hope you're well. Hi, Karen. Just keep going. I went to Stonehenge. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, went to Stonehenge. I think I'm going to have to, on that one, I'm going to have to do some recordings myself, because there's quite a lot of stuff to get in that when we're doing these sort of broadcasts that not everybody will be interested in, to be fair. As I put on my post recently, my social media presence a little bit has stagnated. So I'm currently looking at the moment of what I can put out there, what people might be interested in, because I've got hundreds of stories to tell about this development since my dad passed, and the ADHD and all of the rest of the stuff, and how my mindset's changed and things like that, how it's affected me, how I want to help people. But I think when you're reading cards, that's what people want. So if you're putting out there that you're reading cards, that's what people are joining in for, the messages, the upliftment. And at some point, I will get round to that, the point of dissecting, I think is going to be the word, about what happened at Stonehenge, because it wasn't all, yeah, here we go. Just bear with me 1 second. There. I need to block user. Just bear with me a second, guys. Block user, because this is the problem. You see, I get to that point where people can't ban a chat owner or moderator. No, I didn't. So if you can take my comments out there, wifey, I'd appreciate that. If there's anything coming through on your end, but I'm suspecting these are all Facebook comments. So can't ban a chat owner or moderator. All right. I've got loads of stuff coming through here that is telling me that I can't delete and block. Ignore the spamming. Yeah. I'll probably have to go through it at the end and right, let's get through. I'll just ignore them, and then I'll do my best to get back on it. Right. Ooh, alive. How exciting. Hi, everyone. Hi, Stone Magpie. Yes, anybody that's watching on YouTube, please help me lift my numbers a little bit, because I believe that when you get in touch with me in regards to readings, the spiritual guidance and things like that, and even joining in with the other stuff that I get involved in with Annabelle, the idea, like Vibe with a Tribe on a Monday, is all about giving upliftment to people. So sometimes it takes a trigger from somebody else that push the button to get you out of a bit of a funk with things. I'm never going to sit here, guys. Look at me. I'm never going to sit here and tell you I am the answer, but I absolutely love doing this. What we got here? Let's keep going. No, yeah, we've got nothing here. I think our summer was about 2 days long, wasn't it? Hi, Dizzy J, welcome. Lara, yes, I did read for you. Right, I'm just catching up with the comments a little bit there. Please consider subscribing. Yeah, I really appreciate that, guys. Right, let's start here. Let's see where we're going. A bit of a mishmash for me, guys, but I'm doing my best, because I'm not going to apologize again. this is why I looked at end of last year about having somebody that could help me organise these sort of things, and it's just not happened. So I get on here, I come on here with all the best will and the best intention, and I get distracted. You know, so we do our best. Oh, I've got to have that card because it's one of my favourites as it's fell out Dizzy J. So I hope you're still on. Oh, now. Oh, what a combination, right? Getting excited, getting me little boys like, yes, right. Now, there's 3 cards in the tarot deck that people get a little bit twisted up over, you know, they worry about, right? I actually embrace them. I love them because they're real, like, earth-moving cards. They get the shit up to the surface and they get rid of it, and then we can make plans, even if things aren't going right. So you get the Devil card, the Death card, and the Tower card. Now, personally, the Tower card is my absolute favorite card in the deck, bar none, right? You get all your positivity, but I'm one of these that's an over-analytical thinker. I overthink and overanalyze tons of shit that has got no relevance in the end because, as I say many, many times over the course of these broadcasts, we live in a 98 and 2% world. 98% of the shit that we worry about doesn't happen, and the 2% that does, we deal with it. Right, that is patterns. That's how we survive. That's our human nature. But if you're one of these sort of people that you've got one foot in what if land, then that's where you stay. You're always on that sort of fight or flight overload because you're waiting for that next battle to come in. Now, when the Tower comes in, which is for me is an absolutely stunning card in this deck, when we look at it, it's chaotic. There's energy, you know, big explosions and things going all over the place. But I never put it in as a future card. I put it in as now because it's a clarifier for me. You know, something I might have been worried about. Well, I don't need to worry about it now because I'm right in the middle of it. So something around you may be Dizzy that just needs to be taken down, dismantled, whether it's a thought process, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, something there that is coming to its natural end. But if you're an empathic type of person that wants to look after everybody, then you'll put a sticking plaster on it. You'll make it okay. You know, it'll be all right until it gets to that point where it goes boom and it just like disintegrates. What I do when this card's around me is go put kettle on, right, while it's all falling about, put my tin hat on because obviously there's some rubble and some debris flying about, and stand there and watch it, right? Once it's come down, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to rebuild it in my own image. I'm going to build it in a way that benefits me. So anything that's around you that is built on lies, bullshit, just utter rubbish, then let it come to its natural conclusion. I think that in what I'm being told here, I've got a gentleman's energy that's coming in and around me, and what he's bringing in as part of his passing was something to do with memory loss and problems of the mind. But what he's bringing in is, you're not daft, right? So don't treat yourself as daft, because the second part of your card is where you're going to have to do the hard work there, and you're going to have to go in and confront your inner demons, because the Hermit is all about lighting up your own pathway. And how we do that is introspection. So the card there is an older gentleman with a beard, which denotes the wisdom and the aging at the time that it's took to get into this pathway. The staff there that he leans on for support, and then he's got a lantern to light that pathway. So a couple of different directions, I feel, a couple of opportunities coming up for you in the next 3 or 4 months. But confront your demons. Deal with what I call the candy floss around you, which is sometimes just people's trying to project their will onto you, their insecurities and things like that. Right, just hold fire there, right? Because I need to think. I need to clear all of this crap out of the way so I can process. So the more people come at me, the more I withdraw. So maybe what this card is suggesting, that you just need that time out to withdraw so you can get your head together, so you can either get over or get dealing with whatever's going on around you. Trust yourself, because you don't lie. Your inner being will never lie to you. So trust your instinct over these next few months. Anything that seems a bit sus and that we need to pull down and pull to the ground, put the kettle on, and then have a brew and then build it back up again in your own image. So, guys, thank you very much. Had a reading with you. Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Stone Magpie. Yes. Again, forgive my memory. I meet that and talk to that many people that I can't place. I remember being at York. That's a good sign, isn't it, really? and I remember speaking to you, but not a lot else. And I'm being honest there. Right, so 2 cards there. Oh, I just mentioned that one of the fear cards in there, and you picked one as well. Right, so we'll start with that one. You've got justice. Now, justice for me is about moderating your steps, taking the right and necessary steps to achieve the balance in your life. I always, when I look at blindfolds on anything, it's maybe not seeing something clearly. Maybe I've got a little bit too lost in my own imagination and my own feelings. Taking that blindfold off and looking at things literally like legalities and anything to do with contracts and things like that. Favorable outcomes based on analytical thinking rather than wishing and hoping. I always look at this and I think, well, whatever decision I'm making over these next few months, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take energy. So I'm going to take it one step at a time. And I think there's answers out there for you that are coming, but not at the right speed for you. So I hate giving out this word, but it's one that I'll always caution people on. Patience, right? I hate people saying to me about patience. I get it regularly. At 52 years of age, I am not a patient person. But the thing is, and this happens time and time again, that if you're not a patient person, you get more and more opportunities to experience situations that test your patience. So once you learn the lesson, the next lesson is surely just around the corner. The other card for you is the devil. And the devil for me is all about overindulgence. It's masking, blindfolding yourself to the truth, what you've got enslaved to, what you've got bogged down into, what you're torturing yourself for, what you it is a self-enslavement. So it's also I'm trying to think of the right words because they won't just come into my head at the moment, but it's also about it's the self-enslavement aspect of it. Self-sabotage. Thank you. I knew the guides would come in eventually to help me out. So whatever's going on around you, that you are not doing yourself any favors sometimes, and this is difficult for me with people. I love the idea of collaborating with teams and doing things, but sometimes we don't always sing from the same hymn sheet. So some of the steps we have to take on our own. But maybe if you're just one of these people that just wants to love everybody, maybe you're just not tough enough to make those next steps. Just bear that in mind when you're looking at making these changes, that in life, we can't always please everybody. You know, there's going to be people on here that's going to have pissed me off by the end of this thing. And there'll be people out there that don't like me. But at the end of the day, are they going to affect my next shopping bill? So it's just thinking about that. It's all right being nice to people. And to the best extent of my energy, I do my level best. But some people slip through the net. So it's just maybe I'm trying to do it in a really nice way with you, but to just say we need a bit of armor on and we maybe need to toughen up a little bit, but just take your time over these next few months. Don't make any rash decisions. Right, let's see how many we're going. I'm glad to see all of you here. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for popping in. I'm really pleased for that. Yeah, please do consider subscribing. Hi Kelly, happy birthday, hope you're well. Amazing lady. Louise, I would, but she's out at the gym. That's why I'm up here. I do have a moderator on YouTube, but I'm not au fait with all of this sort of stuff. You know, I do my level best, but you get loads of people coming in. Thanks ever so much. Like and subscribe. It really would be appreciated. Thank you. Those. You always please me with delicious chocolate. Yeah, awesome. Tara. Yeah, did I not get to you, Tara? Right. Yeah, that's not too bad for timing there. Oh, brilliant. Right, I'll just highlight that one because I can nip back a couple of comments there. Thank you. No, actually, and if I meet up with you again when we do any of the other shows, I'll explain why. I'm not going to make it like the excuses of that I don't remember people. It has become a real thing for me that I'm standing there and I go into this flat mode because I never want people to think that that what they've shared with me or what they've done with me when we've had readings and things like that is not important, because every single interaction that I have when I'm working spiritually is important to me, but I just can't seem to retain it. You know, I've had people there that have come up to me, and it's, for me, it's like man the lifeboats, because I know that they're going to remember me because of my colour and things like that, and what I wear and how I am and how I talk and when I demonstrate, but I just can't retain anything. And my head works that quickly. I'm literally these days, guys, now having to pause. It's like I've developed this stammer and this stutter because I'm having to slow my speech down so that my speech and my thoughts don't get too far ahead of me and I can't get it back. But it's a genuine thing. It's just part and parcel of what I'm experiencing at the moment. But like I say, keep saying to people, and then what? Right? I may be dealing with all of these sort of things, but I will not be beaten. My role is to help people, to bring in upliftment, to promote self-empowerment, and that's what I'm bloody good at. You know, it's one of those things that when and look, brilliant Hutch on here will back me up on this. Doesn't matter how you're feeling sometimes. When it's game time, you step in and you do it. Right? So it's almost like getting your kit ready and going into something. When it's go time and you press that go button, you're ready to go. So even though at times my head's all over the place, it's like a bloody washing machine on spin cycle some days, I channel into spirit and it's go time. It is absolutely amazing. And the thing is that as well, at the minute, the upgrades that are coming in from the spiritual world, especially in regards to dreams and the actual wording that's coming in, because I've never really had a lot of wording, but these wordings are coming in and I'm going, right, I've got to write these down, because at the level of my human understanding, I don't get it. But when you start doing some research into it and going, right, sitting in meditation, sitting in your timeout, sitting into your own sense of power, right? Things there will start to make a bit of sense. So I absolutely crave the quiet. So in my head, it's never quiet. So there's that fine balance to find at the moment. Right. So Tara, apologies for keeping you waiting because you was the first to comment. Right. We've got what I would consider my boundaries card. So strength, right? So I will give you the tarot meaning, and strength basically is we've got a lady there, which is the divine feminine, mastering the divine masculine, which is represented by the lion. When I learned this card, what it came in for me is that knowing that deep down in times of need, like I've just mentioned there, we've got the strength to pull through almost everything, right? But sometimes we just need to remember that. So we've got certain skills that we've learned over the course of our lives. We've got certain things and experiences that have prepared us. So we've learned lessons from them. And ultimately, we get stuck in and we move forward. But sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I'm one of the worst for this. So I'm preaching here where I can have eggs and all sorts thrown at me because I'm one of the worst at it. However, when I'm reading for other people about me, it don't matter. I'm standing here with the backing of spirit and all of your guides and your angels to just bring these messages through for you. So what I'm sensing with you, it's time to stand in your own light as well. Now, when it comes to boundaries, I these days, because I value my time, I'd rather be out in the garden, be out with the dogs, than pissing around with somebody who's not interested. So say to him, right, if you're angry with me, you're upset with me, or you're disappointed, whatever it is that I've seemingly done to let you down, then please tell me the truth and let me know. Because I don't want to keep going over and over it. I don't want that feeling in my stomach of nerves and anxiety that if I'm treading on eggshells are saying, so I set my boundaries. So number one, warning comes out, right, done. Right, you've had your opportunity to speak. Don't want to go down that route. Number two, right, I'm now telling you, back off. Right, and then that is the end of the warning system, because if we've had to go past that, then it's game on. You press the wrong button. And then I hold nothing back, right? And nothing's sacred. So I imagine it to be like a dog. If you go up to a dog that you don't know, you can walk up to a dog, and dogs are brilliant at assessing energy. So it'll give you a sniff. And then if it likes you, it'll let you give it a fuss. If it's not sure of you, it'll start to turn its teeth a little bit. Right? If you then go to that third part and you go, I've ignored that sign there, It's a stranger. It's just turned its teeth at me. Third time you go in, it's going to snap at you. It's done its best to warn you not to go down that route, but you've chose to go down that route. So you have to pay the price. Now, what I sense with that is when I'm working around people's energy is to say to you, right, if you're telling people, right, stop, then make that count. Because how I see it when this card comes out for me in my storytelling little head is that I've told somebody I'm getting really angry and I'm getting really frustrated, and you don't need to do that and then keep walking backwards, right? At some point, you need to stop, plant your feet firmly into the ground and have some discipline about what you're saying around some people, right? So I am no longer going to pursue this path. I am no longer going to listen to whatever it is that you're saying. It stops there, because the next time we have to have this conversation, it's going to be in a different manner. And like I say, I'm never one for fighting or arguing with anybody, but sometimes there comes a point where all other bets are off. And we've got all of that. So setting your feet down, putting some boundaries in place. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles. Pentacles, money, finances, riches, enrichment, non-material wealth, how you invest your time. So opportunities for money-making ventures. When I see this is somebody there that is skillful with their own hands. They are making something. They are making their money. So in some way or another, whether it's a job, whether it's a business idea, or just an investment in your training or new coursework or anything like that, or anything that helps you on the pathway towards new money. And this is about establishing your pride as well, because if you can, I know the lighting's not great on here tonight because I haven't had time to adjust it, but he's standing there holding that pentacle in the air, right? He's really, really proud of the work that he's doing. So just maybe it's just coming up for a time for a change. Just look at it, because it's 3. We're in the interim stages of looking at making changes. By the end of the year, you should be in a place where you understand more of which direction that you want to go in, because 4 then we start to head into a little bit of stability. At the minute we're kind of juggling, so discipline for you, and also making your mind up. Oh, that was Bucks Fizz there. I don't know why that shot into my head. Let's keep going. Yep, wife is the moderator, thanks very much. Hi, Psychic News link. Yeah, so I'll plug it again. Psychic News Network for tomorrow. Have a look, see what we're on with. It's a good bit of fun. We always say that it's for entertainment only. We do attract an equal proportion of people that are very interested, and some people take it way too serious. Can you look at me? I don't take things that seriously. And just tune in just to see me making a burk of myself, because I know bugger all about American politics. I know bugger all about the royal family, because I don't very often switch the telly off. I think my head's still in the 1990s watching Frasier and programs like that in the morning. And then somebody goes, oh, did you see what happened in the world yesterday? No, not really. So then I have to go and research what happened yesterday to see what time frame I'm actually in, because my head's not very often here anymore. It's mad, isn't it? Oh dear, I love it. Right, what we got there? Love seeing all of you here. Yeah, thanks very much. And it certainly does me as well. Alison Turnbull. We'll keep going. Guys, thank you very much. Thanks for sticking with me and having a bit of patience. Those that don't get me, it's absolutely fine. I do not take umbrage over it. I just needed a bit of discipline about myself at the moment. I've sat here. How I tend to do my work is that I'll have Mrs. P, when she goes out to her clubs and the gym and things like exercise classes, then I come up here. When she's in, I just like spending time with her. I've seen far too many people sort of sat on the phones and on computers and ignoring one another. Well, I'm very, very lucky in the fact that I've got a decent marriage. So when we've got time together, I want to make the most of it. It's just as simple as that. So I've used that as a bit of an excuse as well. I've been on a lot of other people's stuff. There's a podcast coming out soon. I'm not quite sure when, in the next couple of weeks, where I talk about grief and loss with another YouTube user. I had an amazing, and please look at this one as well. Past life regression in the middle of the field at Stonehenge by a lady from Blue Feather Healing, where we went into past lives and my past life in this direction, and started removing some old blockages. Well, all of that's had an effect over on my mindset and things like that. So I've not done the necessary work. Well, you can't moan and complain about if you're not getting subscriptions, you're not getting viewers, you're not getting work, if you're not putting the work in. Because we live in such a scroll by society, I can't then beat myself up because it's not going very well and I want to quit if I haven't put the necessary effort in. So tonight, I needed the discipline. So what I did was I set the intent out this morning that I was going to record, because I don't like to let people down. I'm a man of my word. And there's no reason why I can't come up here. There's no reason why this studio can't be switched on in an instant. That has just been down to my mindset. So what I've been preaching and pushing at people is, if you want to make changes, you've got to do something different to what you're currently doing to make those results count. And I've been as guilty as anybody else. So I'm not going to make any rash promises that I'm going to be on every week, because my mind at the moment is not committed to anything. I'm bouncing around from stuff to stuff, and I'm taking each day as it comes at the moment, because it's just been an energetic struggle. There's lots of things going on around me in regards to spirituality and guides and inspirers and upgrades and things like that I just don't understand. So I'm just taking advice off other people and doing what I know how to do best, which is being a presence with people, helping them shine a light on things that they're doing that maybe aren't beneficial for them, and standing with them while they make the corrections. And my heart's in coaching. My heart is in supporting people. This, I love doing it because it entertains me. And, you know, the feedback that I tend to get from it as well is 90+% good. And the ones that do say, oh, it's stupid, well, that's up to them. They're entitled to their opinions, I suppose. Alison, so we've got the 3 of Wands for you. Get that right in the camera, because again, we're losing green there. The 3 of Wands. Now, what that's all about. So this Wands are all about fire and fuel. It's quite a fiery, passionate suit in the cards, so it's good energy for making changes with things. I always relate Wands to your more earthbound side, so your jobs, your career, your working, you know, partnerships in the sense of business partnerships, business ideas. So when we look at the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands is a pair of hands wrapped around a wand, and the wand's actually on fire, which for me always gives the message that you can build anything that you want with your own fair hands, but you've got to apply yourself to it. You know, it's almost like you've got to strike the match to get the fuel to burn. Number 2, we start to look at what we're aligning ourselves with. Where do we want to go? So it's a decision-making process. What is it that we want to align ourselves with? So some things will go with us, as I've said before, and some things won't. A lot of people talk about the crossroads moment, whereas I'm not a big fan of that terminology. What I tend to see with this is pathway decisions. Some of the stuff we're just going to go, right, I'm either not ready for it, or I'm not going to do it, or whatever. But don't make excuses. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. Make a decision that benefits you. When we do that, we've made some choices. So when by the time we get to the 3, we're on that pathway now towards that success. There's something there on the horizon that's coming in close. So by the end of the year, there will be something around the job, something around the house, something there that is being bubbling away in the background, but will come to fruition or get a little bit closer to you. Key to it is not standing there and waiting for it. It is taking appropriate action to get that close. So it's kind of like, as it's coming in, you move up as well. And then it saves a lot of time as well, because if you go out and meet it head on, you get there. If it's what you need, then you do more of it. If it's not, then you're at that point of change again. So the path begins again, because the 4 of Wands is all about that stability and taking time out to reflect on the achievements that you've got. So hopefully by the time we're in February of next year, you're going to be in that place where you're celebrating. But you've got to do the 1, 2, 3 work beforehand before you get the 4 in there. The other card there that we've got, the Page of Pentacles. So Pentacles for me, money, finances, riches, enrichment, or non-material wealth. Pages in the court system are all about messengers and opportunities. They are the errand boys and girls, however you want to look on them as. And what they do is they bring opportunities in for something. So because it's pentacles, it's money, it's finances, and as I say, opportunities to make good about your future. So lots of things I feel to look forward to for you. It's just getting on your bike and getting on with it sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes it's the nitty gritty and the crap, the little bits of stuff that hold us back. And once we look back, once we've got past that stage, we wonder why the bloody hell was we procrastinating and worrying anyway? Because a lot of the stuff that we actually worry about, when we're actually in the middle of it, you forget. You go, oh, I spent all of this. It's like a damp squib, really, because by the time you've actually dealt with it, you go, what was I worried about in the first place? So I say part of my work is like to get people to vocalize what their worries and what their concerns are, and say, right, let's see how bad it actually is. Can we break it down? Can we reduce it? Some stuff that we can't do anything about, well, there's no point in worrying about it, because what tends to happen is we put that energy out into the universe, to your gods, your guides, your angels, whatever it is that you want to know it as, and you get more of that to look at. You become more aware of it. It's like saying to you, don't look for yellow cars. You'll go out there and the only bit that you'll remember is yellow cars. So you see tons of yellow cars. So if you've got worry, stress, and all of that sort of thing, that you're anxious about something that has not yet happened, you pull more of that energy in towards you. So, and I do this myself. Sometimes you have to stop that active mind and go, right, what can I actually do to influence that situation? If I can do something, I will do it. Right? If it's not yet meant to be sorted out, well, there's nothing I can do about it. So park it. If it's something that I genuinely can have no hold on or whatever, then why am I giving it my energy? So we chuck it in the fuck it bucket and move on. Okay, there we go. Da, da, da. My grandsons are delighted having... Brilliant. Love it. Da, 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 da. I'm not a fan of fireworks. No, me neither. Right, I will just send out my love and my condolences there. You know, I bring in lots of daftness and silliness, but even I can be serious when the time's right. Sometimes you need a bit of decorum. So what I'll do is just send out my healing thoughts and prayers to you there, Patricia, and my love goes to you. Okay, thank you for that. Send me a friend's request. Oh, we've got another one on there. We're right. Let's block you. See if we can block user. Yeah, well, we can actually block that one. That's good, isn't it? So, guys, say I apologise for anybody that's bugged by these idiots. I love your new song. Oh, have you heard mine, wifey? So, Grumpy Sapper, who is, I'm just getting to know, is the moderator on when we do the Psychic News network. It's absolutely brilliant. He writes songs. He's wrote a song for me. So if you on my timeline on Facebook, check out Grumpy's work. Go and check out his on his timeline there on YouTube as well, because the music's just lovely. I'm very rarely emotional in that sense, but that song just had me in bits. I'm sat there and it's like, oh, shit, has it got dusty in here? It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just highlight that link there for you. Here's the link to his channel. He is an amazing guy. Sad this, yeah. And here's my spiritual mum and dad. Hope you're well. Hope Mr. W is behaving himself and feeling a little bit better after your trials and tribulations. Hopefully get to see you at some point in the near future, but I don't know when that's going to be. I'm assuming it'll be Lincoln or Newark at some point, but that's a good few months away, isn't it? We don't seem to cross paths much anymore, which I miss. So I'm just, I'll just send my love out there for you, because they are amazing. So Crystal Carols, if you're ever up around the Manchester area, please check them out. She will tell you more accurately where her shop is, and if you can stick a link up for her. She's absolutely amazing. Absolutely love her to bits. And the thing is, and this is where, when I spoke about here, my passion for doing this work, this lady and her husband, Cam, have been there from step one with me of going on to the shows, right? I came in there green as grass, went in with the attitude that I would never fall out with anybody. And, you know, it was all namaste and all cotton wool and all candy floss. And I've got to be honest, I've been a bit shocked over the last sort of 7 years that I've done this, that there are some people out there that they should have their arse on the shoulders because they spend quite a lot of time talking out of it, right? I'm not here to prove a point to anybody. I'm not here to have an argument with people. I genuinely want to help people. It's not about my ego. I love doing that, doing the work that I do. And like with everything, you've got to eat, but people sit in judgment of you and going, oh, you know, you've got a gift. Yes, I've got a gift, but that don't buy me a bread loaf. So, you know, you'll have people chucking at you, oh, you shouldn't be charging this, you shouldn't be doing that, and shouldn't be doing. I'm like, go on your own separate way. I have nothing, no axe to grind, but people there that want to impress their will on you, please know, I might have a soft head, but I'm not soft in the head. You know, I don't put up with shite like that. So this world isn't all about love and light. There are rivals out there. There are people that want to knock you down, but I will never be one of them. I have got better things to do with my time than engaging with people that don't like me. I used to take it all really personally with things like that, and it hurt. And then I realised, but how's that going to benefit anybody? Because it's hurting me. The likelihood is that I can't turn around and talk to that person and tell them that they're hurting me, because that gives them fuel for whatever shit that they want to throw at you. So you keep it all quiet. And when you keep stuff quiet and you keep it all bottled up, it gives you more pain. So what's the point in suffering over something? At the end of the day, they're unlikely to come and knock on my door and have a reading with me anyway. So they contribute nothing towards my life. And this is the thing. I'm getting a bit on my soapbox here, but just think about this as well. This can be like friends and family and people like that all of a sudden take a turn for whatever reason. Please do not think when you hear me talking about sort of taking people out of your life that I'm talking about literally doing it, because that's not always appropriate. You know, you can't always escape from relationships and things. But what you can do is cut through that cord of energy around them. So limit how much they affect you, because if we're in a state of fight or anger or we're scared of something, if we don't turn up to the actual event, then we don't get the feelings from it. So it's almost like wrapping a load of cotton wool around yourself and shielding yourself from other people's shit, right? Anyway, I've got off on a tangent, as I tend to do. Ah, dear. You state that. Yeah. And I will have a conversation with you, Carol, at some point about that. I have found it very, very difficult just recently. But I'm a human being. But then it's like, it's one of those things as well. My record of getting knocked down is quite extensive. My record for getting up is I'm on many victories on that one. So you may well knock me down. You may well flatten my spirit a little bit, but essentially I'm always going to get up and keep doing this, because when you look at like the averages of things, if you get 100 people in the room and 98% of them like you, then you're doing quite good, aren't you? So that 2% just kind of keeps you level, in my opinion. Right. Because it's your birthday, Kelly, of course. And I was only talking about you a couple of days ago because Kelly, I read for her, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now, and she's had a lot going on. And I'm not going to divulge on a public forum what's going on, but she's had a lot going on. And we sat and we did some healing work, right? And tarot tells its own story, and I tell everybody that it does that. Mediumship, when it comes in, I connect and I pass that on, whatever's happening. But we was actually working around Kelly's energy herself. And it was amazing because of physically watch this energy come out of her, right? And it went onto her shoulder, and once she cleared it, actually physically watched it leave. And it was a start of a really big turning point for me now, that she was the first one that I have ever had that style of reading with and that energy exchange. And now it becomes part and parcel, and it's almost like the latest craze. I've enjoyed it so much that I want so much more of it. So I always look to you when I see your name there in gratitude, where you came as a client and left as quite a pillar of my development, believe it or not. And I'm still working on embellishing that. I'm bringing that up. You know, as I say, where my heart is in healing. It is helping people, but it's very difficult to market at shows where you make money out of it. What I've found over these last couple of years that I've been doing this as a full-time business is that people tend to find me. You know, I'll have a chat with somebody somewhere about something, and then they'll recommend me, and it kind of rolls on from there. I'm not the greatest at advertising. I do my level best, but tech for me, I get too wrapped up in it. I am what I am, and that's basically me. Anyway, Kelly, for you, right? Take this into context, because I'm very well aware of what's going on around you at the moment, and it's a bit of a difficult one, because I wouldn't have said that this is necessarily true around you, but I know what you're like as an empath, and that you take that position as head of the family very, very seriously, and I do believe that you're lucky enough to have that family around you. But when we're going on to new ground, like unfortunately you've been placed into that position where you've had to deal with the passing and the grief and all of that sort of thing, I'm just going to say to you, my feeling is, don't put too much pressure on yourself to organise everybody else, because I've got the hanging man there, and the hanging man is traditionally about needing a new perspective on something, because the history of it, he was hanging upside down from the tree of knowledge. And if you think about what happens then, if you're hanging upside down from anything, all of the blood rushes to your head, you're bound to think different. So it's been in that place where we're in suspended animation, where nothing's actually moving one way or the other. So maybe, just maybe, and I feel really strongly about this, because you know who steps in with you. I'm not connecting with the gentleman I thought I would connect with, but I'm connecting with the lady, because that's the strongest connection that we have when she comes in. Maybe you just need time out to heal, not just from that, what's happened recently, but also what's happened over these last 4 or 5 years. Almost like an emotional stock take for you, where you just take a few deep breaths and have a look back and just go, bloody hell. You know, I did it recently, and I'm one of these that I'm never good enough. They don't get it right. People are looking at me in the, you know, and all of this sort of stuff. And I sat there one day and I just went, you know, to all of the stuff that's going around in my head at the moment, I just haven't got the answers, right? I've got nothing. It was like this big blank space in front of me. I sat there looking in my garden, because I make a joke of this, that I come from a line of crap woodworkers, right? We have a go, but it's never anything spectacular. But then I started to look around my garden. I built my own shed. I built my own greenhouse. I built all of these planters to put in the things that I love. I built raised beds and stuff like that, all off the ideas out of my head. All stuff that I've not had the encouragement to do, or the teachings, and I did that off my own back. Going full time doing this was an enormous stretch of my confidence, and I'm coming up on 2 years. I still have days where I want to run away. My point being is that even when you're feeling flat and low about stuff, then just take time out to realize just what life's thrown at you over these last 5 years, and maybe just take a deep breath, take some pride, take some compliments. You know that people around you love you and respect you. You did what you could do for spirit. There's the people in the spirit world. We can't always give 100% of the time if we've only got 90% in the energy tank. So I'm just feeling that the need for healing is being sent around you as well. Then we've got the lovely Knight of Wands card, and that for me, I always think about charge. So that's about taking action. So just maybe around you, I'm thinking that because there's a bit of a conflict there, if you like, maybe it's just about delegating tasks to other people, certain things you need to take action on and take charge of, and basically cut through the shit, because swords is all about air and cutting through the illusion. So maybe it's just about taking the necessary steps, not trying to do everything all at once. But I do feel over these next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, it's time to take some time out. Maybe it's a holiday, maybe it's just a break for a few days, maybe it's just downtime with those that are close to you, and let the other buggers fend for themselves for a while. Blue is all about communication. You know your stuff. I feel like I'm preaching to the converted, but I send my love and my respect out to you, because I think you're amazing. Right, looking like they were coming to the end of the comments there, and I hadn't had a cup of tea because, as I say, I came in late from this, so I will make this the last one for you, Jackie. Thanks, guys, for bringing all of your support, all of your energy in there. What I will apologise for is that if anybody's had any issues with any spammers, then nothing to do with me. Facebook do bugger all about. And for those of you that are on YouTube, thank you very much for all of your support. Please consider liking and subscribing. Check out all the channels from the people that have been on here, the Fitness Hutch, the Psychic News Network that will be on tomorrow. Deborah, when she's on as well, she feel free to put her link on if she's on there. And I just want to say I'm very, very grateful. So, yeah, I'll get to that, and I'll make Michelle the last one after I've done Jackie's. Then thank you. I appreciate that. So 2 cards for you, and we've given them a good shuffle for you, Jackie. We've got the Page of Pentacles, and pages, as I say, are about bringing in news and opportunities. So I like the page because they bring in the messages, they bring in the links from things. So they've been out foraging somewhere to bring you messages of good luck and upliftment. Because it's money and finances, I'm never one to tell people how to invest their money, but if you're in a place where what you're doing is not working, change it or look at adapting it or altering it. And when I'm looking at this card in regards to you, Jackie, I'm just thinking about self-promotion in some way or another. So whatever it is that you do that you're good at, is it giving you full value for money, or are there other opportunities out there that you'd like to go and try? I've been fortunate enough to talk to a couple of people just recently that money's not an issue to them. So, and I've said, oh, okay, right, I take that on board. Not everybody needs to go out and work to earn a living, but what are you doing with that money that you're not bothered about it being an issue? Is it giving you best value? You know, for instance, are you enjoying everything there? Because it is absolutely no point in sitting and stockpiling it and not having any enjoyment. Your money should work for you. Once you've worked for your money and you're in that position where you've got the opportunities to do different things, bloody take them. Don't procrastinate. I've seen so many people pile up. I was very, very shaken by a recent passing of somebody that I worked for, and driven, clever, intelligent, 38, 39 years of age, and he's gone, you know. And it's just there that it says had this real effect on me of, right, when these opportunities come in, if they're going to stretch you out of your comfort zone, give them a go. At least give them a go, so that then if anything sort of comes into your mind after, well, I've got no regrets, right? No regrets, because I give it a go. So looking about opportunities, about money and finances. 3 of Wands. So we're on the right path with an idea about something. We're on the right path, but it requires that little bit of an extra push before we can have a rest. So we've had the idea, we've got the fire, we've got the fuel behind it, we've made the decisions what we're going to align ourselves with, and the boat is on the horizon. So make sure that you're in that place. So clear out the clutter. I like that card as well, because in my mind I go like that, right, it's like going into my shed. There's all sorts of little bits of stuff going on, but if I was focusing on needing a tool from the back of the shed, I won't be able to get to it because I've got all of these little bits of crap in the way. They're all useful, but they could be more useful if I put them in the right place. I hope that makes sense, because that's just the little storyline that popped into my head. So there are changes about for you in a practical sense, and the red there is about the root chakra, and the root chakra is about your foundations, also about strength and self-love as well. So just don't forget yourself in the mix, okay? To, you know, enjoy your successes, but take the time out where it's needed. And I'll leave that one with you. I'm going to give good evening, Andrea. I will give Michelle the last one, because I've just heard Mrs. P come in, and I'm absolutely gagging for a cup of tea as well, because I say I spent the last 4 hours outside wrestling with a arbor, and thanks to my lovely wife's assistance, it's got a lot further on than what I was expecting. Now, all I've got to do is put the roof on tomorrow, and then we're going to look in painting it and getting some decoration on it, and actually using it as a meditation space for me, so that I do take time out to sit in there and sit away from the racing thoughts. I'll take a couple of crystals out there, take my singing bowl out there, and just slow my energies down a bit, because I am finding that more and more I'm dealing with the other side of my head, that this is, it takes away sometimes from the spirit work. So I've had to make some adaptations, and I've not found it easy, to be perfectly honest, but I keep doing my best. Oh yeah, Jackie, she said thank you for Vibe with the Tribe. I almost forgot to get that in. So me and Annabelle from the wonderful Fortune Cookies, who is an incredible lady, 30, I think she said 35 plus years as a tarot teacher and a reader, and I get on with her, and she indulges me in the fact that I sit there and we wind the ball bloke up, and then we let him go off on a tangent on something. But I'm so passionate about helping people that it's just having that button pressed. And she's brilliant at interviewing me. She's brilliant at including me in there. And we're looking at extending that. So that's on a Monday morning. I think in America it works out about 5:30 in the morning or something like that, and we're 11:15 to 11:30 when we come on there on the British time, and we talk about matters spiritual. And the idea is to uplift your spirits and give you some ideas, and it's like a little bit of life hacks. It's not expertise, it's just that we're ordinary living people, and we just want to inspire others. So if you can even look at some of the cock-ups that I make when I come on there, and just think, well, he's done that, well, I can do it in a different way, I'm happy to provide the inspiration or the happiness for it as well. So again, right, I've just shuffled these cards now, like give them a good shuffle, and that 3 of Wands has come out for you again. It's come out again. So just I haven't got Michelle's highlighted comment because I think it's gone too far back. So if she's still on, there we go. There we go. Hope she's still on. And if not, she can come back and have a look at this. And if she's missed it, well, that's right in divine timing, isn't it? But again, we've got that 3 of Wands card. That's the 3rd time in a row. And bearing in mind, I've shuffled this. So the 3 of Wands for me, again, is about that pushing on now, past that point of inertia, just making those subtle changes, aligning yourself with where you want to be. Since I met you all those years ago, I know that you've changed your energies no end. So again, maybe it's just that little prod in there to get something out of the cupboard, get something moving forward, put shining the light on something. Maybe something's just got a bit stale that needs a bit of changes, needs a bit of fire, needs a little bit of new energy coming in. So to make a difference, September seems to be important, what's coming out there. Gentleman in the spirit world that's coming in, and he comes in with my granddad, which always reminds me and pushes me towards the words of discipline, because my granddad was an army sergeant major, and he always brings people in that are sort of like-minded and brings in that discipline element around you. So just maybe it's something where you've got to get your big girl pants on and push yourself off that place of inertia, or get off that windowsill and stop flapping and actually do something. Or if you're not quite convinced that that's the right thing, get yourself off the windowsill, get yourself stood down, and then apply your energy to something that does give you the upliftment. And this is all about, I think, what I'm feeling around this, because I've got the 7 of Cups here, and the 7 of Cups for me is all about choices. But it's one of them that if we procrastinate, even though the choices are good, by the time we've actually made a decision and gone forward, they could well have gone. So I just feel that with your readings today, it's just a little bit of like finger clicking. And I don't mean, it's just to call you to attention, right? Let's get you out of what if land. Let's get you out of worry land. Let's get you out of fear land, and just go, right, what is around you that's giving you that upliftment? I know your kids, your grandkids and all of that sort of thing give you that upliftment, but I'm talking about you personally. What is it in your life that you want to achieve, or that you want to make those changes? So it's like, I call it like the back to the future moment, and I get them quite a lot, really. You know, this McFly, is there anybody in there? And you just like, oh, all right, yeah, snap back into reality and go, right, I'm going to make those changes. So it's just a bit of a spiritual prod for you. Right, on that one, because I'm tired, right, I'm actually going to start looking after myself a lot better than what I have done. Thank you so much for gracing my pages with your presence. I really appreciate that. all the information will be on YouTube there. Thanks, guys, that have been with me right from the start on Facebook. I want to thank everybody because there's over 2,000 of you now that follow me, and I'm absolutely blown away by that. That blows my mind, and you keep me in business. Right? You on the days where I struggle with things, the kind compliments, the messages that I've helped people. That's what I'm about, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So I'm going to finish this one by saying, if you enjoyed this one, tell everybody about it. If you didn't, keep your bloody gob shut. So till I see you on either the Psychic News report tomorrow or Vibe with the Tribe on Monday or the next one of these that I do, take care of yourselves, look after yourself. Thank you and good night.